Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body.
Hello. You're now tuned in to the A Little Bit Alive podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome back to another episode. We are back with another week. And guys, it's getting real, okay? The spring is truly springing. That means summer is gonna summer. It's warm, okay? And for some reason, my office is the warmest place in the house. Probably because like the sun shines directly, like for some reason in my office window. So excuse my fan if you hear it going. I'm not trying to burn up in here today. Okay, that's not what we're gonna do. We're not trying to burn up, okay? But yeah, I'm really feeling it, right? Like it kind of really feels like the winter blues is fully shedding off of my body. Like, you know, you start to feel the inklings of it shedding like a snake. What am I talking about? But no, for real, like, if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. Like, the winter blues, like, that depressy and the testy gets real, sister. So when you really start getting into the thick of it with, like, the spring and it starts feeling better outside and you're able to get to the point where you're able to go outside without a jacket on, you know it's getting real, right? And it's like, that's just the best feeling. So I've really been kind of, you know, thriving in that. The other night, I went out to dinner with my sister and my mom. Wasn't chilly out, didn't need a jacket. On top of that, I was planning on getting a margarita, and every time I drink alcohol, your girl starts sweating boots, okay? Boots, that's my ego boost. So I'm like, we don't need a jacket, sister. I got my fan on my purse just in case, but I'm really about to get litty tonight, right? So it was just nice being able to just go out with just a short sleeve shirt on, right? Got the drink in my two-step, and I was feeling good. Shout out to Texas Roadhouse. They have the best margaritas with that sugar on the rim. Oh my goodness. The one I get has like grenadine, like pineapple juice, orange juice, and then like their house made margarita like mix. Oh, it's so good. And I get it frozen. Oh my God. Like, come on now. Like, there's no better combo than their bloomin' onion with a margarita, sugar on the rim, with a Texas Roadhouse roll with that cinnamon butter. Are you kidding me? And then I get that grilled shrimp on a bed of rice with a side of macaroni. Don't play. I really need to run it back, actually. It was that good. But yeah, so I hope everybody's been doing well. I also wanted to just, you know, before we get into the episode, quickly talk about last week's episode. If you guys missed it, please be sure to check it out. Okay, I did an episode with none other than the Ariana Davis. If you guys don't know who she is, she plays a character named Madonna, who is a Black plus size cheerleader. On the new hit show called Stumble on NBC and Peacock. I absolutely loved this show. This show was so good. And as soon as I saw like the trailers for it, I was like, I'm definitely gonna have to check this show out because I saw her character Madonna and I'm like, Black plus size cheerleader, need that, right? So she had already had me hooked before I even watched the show. And then when I started it, I absolutely loved her character. All the other characters are, you know, great as well, but, you know, I'm biased because Madonna is my favorite. And once again, it's like, have you ever heard a Black girl named Madonna? Like, you already know, like, she's a diva, right? So that really was just like eatery. And so the fact that I was able to successfully shoot my shot and get her on the show might have been the most like grand accomplishment that I've done and been able to achieve on my podcast so far, right? Like, we've got a celebrity, okay, a actress on a NBC network show on my podcast. What? Like, I am just so happy that I was able to pull that interview. She was so nice. She was so sweet. And the interview just went really well. I really put a lot of work into this, episode, because I wanted to make sure that I was able to, take the opportunity to ask the questions that I really wanted to ask, give her flowers, to talk about the show and all of the things that I loved about the representation that her character brought, to the screen. And I also wanted to make sure that, the interview wasn't just about the show, but it was also about her. And, so that way people, can get to know more about who she is and what she has in store, for the future. So I am just so happy with how the episode turned out. And I want to thank everyone who has already supported it, and thank you in advance if you're going to support it and watch it after this. I really just wanted everyone in my community to rally together and show this episode some love, because this was a big deal, so I did not want this episode to flop, right? And you guys did show up. You showed up and showed out. The episode did well, and I got nothing but positive feedback from people in, the A Little Bit a Lot podcast community. You guys all said that you loved it, and I was just like over the moon, right? So thank you so much to everyone again for supporting that podcast episode. And I really just hope that, this can just open the door for future interviews with, other people from TV shows and movies and stuff like that too, because after doing it, I'm just like, oh, like I can handle, a guest of like this magnitude. And it really showed that I am more capable at like interviewing, and have that natural ability more than I thought I did. Not to like toot my own horn, but I think I did really well. And it was just such a great conversation because Ariana knows how to key, you know what I mean? Like we key, like I just knew that we would get along, and we did. So the chemistry in the interview was just like incredible. So be sure to check out last week's episode with Ariana Davis from the show Stumble on NBC. It was absolutely incredible. So yeah. But this week I had a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Okay. We got some pop culture moments that I have not been able to talk about. We also got some pop culture moments that I might talk about next week as well. But there's only so much time, right? So many episodes, so little time. But today I kind of wanted to talk about the Megan Thee Stallion drama with, Klay Thompson. They broke up, give my thoughts on that. I also have never been able to talk about Manon from KATSEYE, the girl group KATSEYE, and give my thoughts on like her hiatus and also like the new KATSEYE Pinky Up era and their Coachella performance. I also kind of wanted to touch on like Justin Bieber's Coachella as well, and just like Coachella this year in general, share my thoughts. And then like last month, I also went to the Zara Larsson concert, and I talked about how I felt about the show on stream, but I didn't talk about it on the podcast. So I thought we would, talk about how I enjoyed the Midnight Sun tour, and also Zara Larsson's new song that she has out with Tyla. So those are just a few things that we're going to discuss today. I'm so excited to get into it. Yeah, no Doja, right? But before we do, if you're new here, hello, welcome. Okay. If you could please do me a huge favor and subscribe on the A Little Bit a Lot podcast YouTube channel, I would appreciate you and love you forever. Right now, we are on a push to get to my first 1K. The day that I'm recording this, I think I have 906 subscribers. So we are so close to getting 1K. So what's the math? What? That means we need 94 subscribers. So I just can't believe it, but at the same time I can, right? Because like I've been working hard, for the past almost 3 years. This August will make it 3 years that we've been grinding with this podcast thing. So it just feels so good to be able to say that we're so close to being able to monetize this channel. And once I'm able to monetize this channel, I will be able to have like financial support to, only continue to invest in this show and give you guys, even better content, on a bigger scale. So if you guys want to, support your girl, a Black small podcaster diva who's just trying to, spread good light and energy on my cozy corner of the internet, then subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Okay, turn the post notifications on so that way you don't miss an episode, right? And comment down below, keep it cute though, to let me know what you think about today's topics. And yeah, with my podcast, new episodes come out every Friday. We talk about pop culture, mental health, music, movies, TV shows. So if that sounds like something that, interests you, then subscribe so that way you can join the community, and then we'll be that much closer to hitting my first 1K. I cannot believe it. Also, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Rate that 5 stars. Leave a review to let me know what you think about the show, okay? And also follow me on Twitch, guys. I am now officially in my streamer era. I've talked about it a little bit here and there, but I do stream every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then any other day or time of the week that I feel like it. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with my streamer era. So I would appreciate it if you go follow me. Following is completely free, okay? So if you want to come you want to come hang and get into some games, then follow. It's twitch.tv/gaming with Kristen. Everything you need will be in the description on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify to go follow me. We play lots of fun games over there. We've recently gotten to Tamagotchi Life, which is a new game for the Switch that Nintendo just released, and I've been having so much fun with that. We play The Sims, we play Mario Kart World, we play Super Mario, Fortnite, you name it. So we have lots of, different games. I'm quite the variety streamer, the variety gamer. So come hang, come key. I would love you to join the community. Over on Twitch, it's called the Cozy Corner Club. I officially announced it. It's a club where I'm the president. Okay, so if you want to become a Cozy Corner Club member, you gotta follow. And we also have some subscription options as well. You can subscribe for free if you use Amazon Prime. And that, obviously financially supports my stream, so that way I can continue to keep pushing out great content for you guys. Or you can subscribe for $5.99 a month, I think, on Twitch or something like that. It's $4.99 or $5.99. And when you do that, you also get, perks and benefits when you watch my streams. You get to use a emotes in the chat that other people who just follow aren't able to use. So you get exclusive subscriber emotes. You also get ad-free viewing. So consider coming and hanging But let's get into, the shenanigans with this week, with the pop culture. It's been crazy with pop culture lately in the media. It just seems like every other day there's something new going on. I know that's how life works, but dang, it's been getting overwhelming lately, especially when it comes to this Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson nonsense. It is so disappointing. Let me just say off the top, right, that this situation has happened. I found out because my sister let me know when she texted me, and she sent me the screenshots of what Megan said on her Instagram story when she broke the news. And I was sick to my stomach about this. Okay. One thing's for sure. Two things for certain. We, at the end of the day on this show, are 100% standing in solidarity for anyone Black, right? We're rooting for anyone Black. We're rooting for our Black women. I always say, word to Queen Latifah, love a Black woman from infinity to infinity. That stands. Megan Thee Stallion single-handedly has been through more trauma and turmoil in her lifetime than I think any human being could ever fathom. Losing your mom, dad, and granny is absolutely sick and diabolical. The fact that she has no family and that every single relationship that she seemed to be in has been full of fraudulent men is absolutely ridiculous. Not only did she trust Tory Lanez and was hanging around with him, okay, yeah, maybe they were messing around. That's her tea. That's her business. She's grown. She could do that. Then she gets shot by the man. Right. Then she was also with Moneybagg Yo. That didn't work out. Right. Allegedly. And then she was also with that partisan whatever party guy that she met through Cardi B. He allegedly cheated on her in her bed. Girl, what is next? I don't even have any family. I'm falling out with half of my friends. And then every single man that I try to trust somehow ends up doing me dirty. So when we found out that she was dating Klay Thompson, we were kind of okay, you know what I mean? It's not like he's like the cutest guy I've ever seen. But we were like, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, maybe this could be good, right? Because he's, totally different from every other guy that she's dated. Yes, he's good. He's a basketball player, but initially I was thinking he seems to kind of be like their nerdy type, and maybe that's what she needs. Next thing you know, she's posting them doing all types of activities, and I'm like, okay, wait, I'm kind of here for it. We need somebody that's actually going to, enrich her life and nourish her mind, teach her new things, send her out and to do new experiences. So when I see him teaching her how to fish, you know what I mean? And he's out here getting in the water, snorkeling and stuff, trying to catch the fish. He's teaching her how to golf. She's showing him, different types of foods like fish and spaghetti, which is a great Southern tradition, may I add. I know her fish and spaghetti hit. Then on top of that, she hosted his family for Thanksgiving, allegedly. They're doing the whole nine. So you're like, okay, this really seems like this could be a thing, right? He seems sweet. He seems respectful. He seems to really, really like her. She really, really likes him. Next thing you know, she, my man, my baby, my baby. Okay, right. Right. We're indirectly, dedicating songs to him. We're thinking this might be in game. Finally, she has found her Prince Charming, someone who treats her with the respect and love that she deserves after everything that she's been through. Then next thing you know, he cheated? Are you serious right now? Like, oh my God. Can't catch a break, can't catch a mother freaking break. It's absolutely ridiculous. I am so disappointed in Klay Thompson. But then I look at the Carfax. Turns out he's allegedly cheated on every girlfriend he's ever been with. Right. Because I guess there was this black girl who starred in one of the Spider-Man movies. He allegedly cheated on her. I heard that he had a fling with Coco Jones. I think he may have cheated on her too. I'm not sure. It's like, okay, right. So you have a history of doing this. So at the end of the day, it's not even about what the girl may be doing. It's you. You're the one who's deeply insecure and mentally ill, and you can't keep a relationship. Right. And it's like, if that was the gag, then you could have just left Megan Thee Stallion alone. Everybody knows what she's been through. And then, of course, you just want to add on to the trauma. Are you serious right now? And allegedly, they had bought a house together. So it's like, what the freak? Then why did you sign the paperwork if you allegedly don't want to be quote unquote monogamous? Because we're going to read her Instagram story. Okay. So Megan Thee Stallion says, cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got quote unquote cold feet, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you want to be quote unquote monogamous. Bitch, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. First of all, that is just absolutely foul. Cheating is extremely traumatizing. Like, that is something that can quite literally alter your brain chemistry. So I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I wish a lot of things on my enemies, okay? Yeah, I'm petty. I'm a Pisces. It is what it is. You be for me, you be forever. But even then, I wouldn't wish that on somebody. So you sick and twisted, demented piece of crap. The fact that you cheated is absolutely absurd. It's like, if you didn't want to be together, then you could have just broke up. Why you gotta go and cheat? Are you serious? And then it's like, yeah, like she said, had me around your whole family playing house. You had me out here at the basketball game, sitting courtside with your mama. Whole time you messing with somebody else. Then the quote unquote cold feet. Were they engaged? It's like, what does that really mean? Right? Like, were they engaged? I don't know. And then it's just so many deep layers to all of this, because it's like, girl, okay, once again, men gonna be men. Horrible mood swings during your basketball season. So you're a coward, right? You're a coward. That's what you're telling me. Because what the freak? Like, how are you going to take out your anger on me because of whatever's going on with your job? Keep your job and your emotions at your job, and home at home. And at the end of the day, if that's the gag and you need support and you want me to be able to be there for you emotionally when it comes to your job frustrations, we can do that. But you don't have to take them out on someone. So that's absolutely sick. Like, putting her through horrible treatment and mood swings during a basketball season is sick. And then you allegedly get a house together and now you don't know if you want to be monogamous. It's very strange behavior. It's like so demented to me. And then I guess there was a tweet on @popbase on Twitter, and it says Megan Thee Stallion issues statement regarding breakup with Klay Thompson to TMZ. She says, I've made the decision to end my relationship with Klay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity. Right. You know, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. So I think that this situation is absolutely vile. I'm just so disappointed in him because I, along with lots of other fans, thought that they might be in game. So to know that that's not the case is absolutely heartbreaking. I'm just so sorry. My heart goes out to Megan. At the end of the day, I know that she's a strong woman and she's going to get through this. But just because you're strong doesn't mean that you want to always have to be strong. Golly. And then it's just so upsetting to hear so many men have all of these like loud and wrong opinions about the situation. And it's like, all you're doing is just constantly proving our point, which is at the end of the day, like, I don't know, men are idiots. Like, no shade, no tea to any, male audience members that may listen to me. But it's like, why do you think that it's okay to keep going online? And I'm seeing people have these like stupid think pieces saying, well, at the end of the day, she's out here, promoting shaking her butt and stuff online, so you can't be surprised when you get treated like this. So because she shakes her butt online and has the type of like music that she makes, that doesn't mean you think that means that she doesn't deserve love and fair treatment and respect as a woman in a relationship. Please shut up right now. Like, I cannot deal. And then I've seen people, other men say that, at the end of the day, like, this is kind of on her because she's the one who started posting them, online and making their relationship public. God forbid a woman falls in love, thinks that she's in love, thinks that this is the person that she's okay. This, in her mind, I think she very well may have thought, okay, this is the one, right? Because of how good everything seemed like it was going. God forbid a woman finds the love of her life. She thinks she finds the love of her life and wants to show the world, her man. Like, I literally said, my man, my baby. Like, I'm gonna need you guys to wake the freak up and stop acting like it's just so odd that people fall in love and want to show off their love and show off their partner to the whole world. Sometimes when you have something that's so real, you do want to scream and shout and let it all out and go to the, mountaintops and say, I'm in love. Everyone, look at this, wonderful relationship and this wonderful partner that I found. That is not an uncommon thing. So just because she's a celebrity and she's a Black woman, that means she's not allowed to post her relationship. Like, what? So that pissed me off when people were saying that. And then, of course, people were also saying that she should have never brought, all of this drama online and that she should have just kept it to herself. Like, why did she have to air him out and put their business out there and say that, he cheated and all this other kind of stuff? Okay. So you're telling me that she got dragged through the mud and got done dirty and dogged out by this stupid, idiotic man, and she doesn't have a right to share publicly what happened? That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I am so tired of people acting like whenever Black women get done wrong, that we're the problem if we call out like the people who have done us wrong. We're the victim in this situation. So we're not allowed to be the victim. We're not allowed to publicly say this person did this to me. Like, what is the issue? It's just so irritating. Like, they don't say that about any other race whenever they call out, their abusers or their ops. But the second that a Black woman says, hey, this person did this to me, I'm, upset because this happened. And all of a sudden it's, oh, be quiet, keep it offline, don't be telling people your business. We're human at the end of the day. We are human. And I'm not even trying to yell right now, and I'm not even trying to get upset. But this situation is extremely upsetting and it's extremely triggering just on a human level. Because I'm so sick of people acting like just because she's a celebrity that she's not allowed to have feelings. Celebrities are people too. That's someone's child. That is someone's child and whose emotions that he played with. You know what I mean? It's that serious. This is a black woman in the entertainment business who, for the most part, doesn't have solid family to and a true tribe to hold her down. So of course it's gonna get very freaking parasocial up in these streets about her. So it's like don't even do it. Don't even do it, Klay. Don't even do it. Like there were so many things that you could have done to just break up and leave her alone than traumatizing her even more by cheating. So anyone out there who has, anything negative to say about this situation, respectfully, I'm just going to need you to shut it. I'm going to need you to shut it, because at the end of the day, black women are allowed to grieve. They're allowed to feel. They're allowed to be angry. They're allowed to be sad. They're allowed to be happy. We are allowed to be anything we want to be in any way we want to be. If that's how she chose to address the situation, that's her right, celebrity or not. So knock it off. All right? And of course, all of the videos of people like being like, Klay Thompson, you'll rue the day, was absolutely funny. I saw another one that said, Klay Thompson, you'll begin to feel a tickle in your throat in 2 days. That's pretty funny. Another one that I saw, someone said, I hope your Achilles tears, you big beige bastard. And it's like, you know what? I believe in karma. It's not like I want to actively go and wish bad on people, but karma, words of JoJo Siwa, she's a bee. Karma's a bitch. You should have known better. Like, what? You can't do things bad to people and expect bad to not be wished upon you, right? Like, saying that you hope his Achilles tears, you big beige bastard, is so funny to me, dude. Like, that genuinely had me LMFAOOO down boots. Like, big beige bastard is so genius. I love that. So yeah, Klay Thompson. May everything you touch crumble, and may everything that Megan Thee Stallion touches prospers, right? Because once again, love a black woman to infinity, to infinity. Speaking of black women, we also have this whole Manon situation with KATSEYE. I hadn't had a chance to, like I said, speak on it. But when it comes to Manon, I am someone who has been around from the beginning. I watched the KATSEYE documentary, during the era of it being, released, like the reality show where they all competed to make, get a spot on, in this group. And so I've seen her journey. I've seen all of the rest of the girls' journey, in KATSEYE. And I think that every single girl that is in the group absolutely fought for their spot and deserves to be there. So when it comes to KATSEYE, I don't play, right? Because at the end of the day, I know it's all parasocial of it all, and like we don't really actually know these people, but from what we can tell and what we've been shown, they all seem to be, really nice, genuine people who have worked hard to get to where they are, including Manon. And I know that, people feel how they feel. Some people say, well, she didn't really want to be in the group to begin with. But at the end of the day, yes, she was recruited for this, but she literally did put in the work to be able to earn her spot as well. It's not like they were just going to try to hand it to her. They wanted to see, can you put in the amount of work that everyone else puts in? And there were, issues with that. But she said, you know what? No, I'm going to step it up. I'm going to put the work in. I'm going to show y'all that I can do this because I deserve to be here too. And she did that, right? You cannot take that away from her. So she fought for her position as well. And once they debuted, all of the work that they have put in post-debut to serve what they need to serve is evident. And so when, Hybe announced their label announced that Manon was taking a hiatus from the group, I wasn't exactly surprised, right? Because she gets sick all the time. And at the end of the day, we know that this is not something that was necessarily her dream either, but she has, regardless, worked hard to contribute and do her part in the group. Also, there's also talk about like where she's from, hustle culture is not a thing. Breaks are taken when they're needed. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I feel like more celebrities in general and also people in groups should be allowed to take breaks. So I didn't really think that it was some like huge deal the way that people were making it. If the girl wants to take a break, she wants to take a break. But then it's kind of like, okay, but was this a break that she chose to do? Or is this something that the label is forcing on her? If she chose this, I'm going to support anything that she wants to do because she has a right to rest if she wants to rest. But if it's forced from the label and she's dealing with some mistreatment by the label behind the scenes, then of course that's a problem. And so I've been kind of leaning towards maybe there are issues with the label. There have been so many instances where fans have called out the label that KATSEYE are signed to, saying that they're mistreating, members, and there's lots of different things that they've noticed that the label does and the way they handle things that fans aren't really a particular fan of and happy with. And so it's like, okay, if allegedly the label is known for being shady, then it's like, okay, what's going on? Like, are you guys treating Manon with the respect that she deserves behind the scenes or what? So that's my most important situation, like thoughts on the situation. I mean, is like, is she being treated fairly? I don't know. And then of course you have like Jungkook from, BTS. My sister told me that allegedly he was talking about how he was, upset with the label and like not letting them do the things that they wanted to do. So it's kind of like, girl, if even someone from literal BTS has beef with the label, then what do you think Manon is going through, right? So it's kind of just like, dang, guys, like what is going on behind the scenes? Because then the label says, oh, well, she's taking a break, for this. But then Manon gets on, line and she's like, no, guys, I'm actually okay. So it's like, okay, the label's saying you're not okay, basically, but then you're saying you are okay. So then there's already discrepancies. So is the label lying or what? So that's, really upsetting. And then of course they had, the Coachella situation coming up. Everybody was wondering, okay, we know Manon is on hiatus, but is she going to still show up for Coachella, right? Because she has, discussed many times that Coachella is something that is a dream for her and that would, really be cool if she was able to perform just like the rest of the girls. They were all excited for Coachella. Turns out Manon does not perform with the girls at Coachella, but the gag is she was there. She just was there as like, a regular audience member instead of performing. So it's like, girl, what is going on? Like, you're literally at Coachella but not performing with the rest of the girls at Coachella. And then allegedly she took KATSEYE out of her bio. So it's like, are you on hiatus or actually are you leaving the group? Like, what is the truth? And so I think that uncertainty is making everyone stir crazy. And then it's creating this divide in the fandom where now people are saying, F KATSEYE, F their label, I'm done with this, I'm standing beside, Manon. And that's when it's like, okay, not too much. It can be F the label, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't got no love for these labels, these greedy, corporate, money hungry labels, right? F the man, F capitalism. Right? I get that. F the label. But when y'all start saying F the rest of the girls because you're supporting Manon, that's when it gets kind of iffy for me. Because just because we are supporting Manon doesn't mean it's F the rest of the girls. We got to remember, this is the label's issue. This is allegedly an issue with the label. So why is it F the rest of the girls? Why do the rest of KATSEYE have to suffer and then lose out on fans because of whatever the label is doing behind the scenes to cause drama within the group? We need to be focused on the bigger picture here, guys. Their label needs to be held accountable for whatever is going on that they're not telling us. Okay. And if KATSEYE themselves, right, Sophia has gone on and said, at the end of the day, we love our girl, we support our girl, then it's we support our girl. So if there's no beef between the girlies, as far as we know, then we should be supporting all of them. Whether Manon leaves the group or stays in the group, we need to support her, and we need to continue to support all the rest of the girls, because as far as we know, they didn't do nothing. They didn't do anything wrong. And then at the end of the day, they're just as much as a victim as Manon is in the situation. They've been overworked, booked and busy, constantly look tired, constantly look exhausted and sad. They especially have been looking stressed and sad in interviews during all of this drama with Manon, because it seems like they can't even really speak on it too much in the way that they even want to speak on it, probably because the label isn't allowing them to. So we're not about to put them, on the block list too. That's not fair. That's not fair. Those girls are sweet, just like Manon is, and haven't done nothing to us. So everybody has been talking about the Pinky Up song. They just, released that new song called Pinky Up. Manon is not in the song. She's not in the music video. So people are like, okay, well, it's Pinky Down. Why is it gonna be Pinky Down? Why do we have to take it that far just because Manon isn't in the video? We can support them all. Like, what the freak? What is the tea? Like, are y'all good? Are y'all okay? Are you guys seriously okay? Because I don't really think you are. It really does not have to be Pinky Down just because we're all feeling some type of way about Manon. So I just really want to say, going forward, I'm going to really need you guys to wake up and realize who the real enemy is here. The music industry. Okay, the people at the label who don't have their best intentions at heart. We do not need to make the rest of the girls suffer just because we feel some type of way about Manon potentially leaving. So with that said, I wish Manon nothing but the best. I'm really hoping that ultimately she doesn't leave the group and that this truly is just a hiatus. But if she leaves, I'm still going to support whatever she chooses to do. And at the same time, I'm still going to support KATSEYE as a group as well, because they ain't nothing to play with. At the end of the day, they still been holding it down. I absolutely love Pinky Up. At first, I was worried, am I going to like the song? But I liked it. It's really cute. The choreography is really cute. It's really fun. And I think that they killed it at Coachella. The only critiques that I have about KATSEYE's Coachella performance was I wish that they would have switched it up. They basically did the entire routine that we already saw them do on tour and that they've already done at Lollapalooza. So it's girl, love y'all down, but we're going to have to switch it up. We saw this on tour. We saw this at Lollapalooza. I thought you were going to give us something different at Coachella. We can't keep doing the same dance break. Let's switch it up. But other than that, of course, they ate down. That's never a question. They're going to serve what they need to serve. In general, Coachella was nice, outside of the KATSEYE. We also had Bieberchella. I was able to stay up on weekend 2, and it was came on at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. my time, but I was still up. So I'm may as well, turn on Bieberchella. And I watched the stream, and it was so nice to see Justin Bieber just up there, just reminiscing and singing his old songs, but also singing some of the new songs from his Swag album. And in general, I really enjoyed his Coachella performance. Of course, I know a lot of people had, thoughts on the fact that he didn't really perform. He didn't have choreography and all these other things. He was just kind of just sitting there on his laptop, hooked it up to the aux, and was on YouTube. Yes. At the end of the day, that is kind of ghetto. That is kind of ghetto to get up there and go on YouTube and look up memes and be like, Got him. Like, are we really looking at vines right now, Justin, in the middle of the desert with these people that paid thousands of dollars to be here? That is kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, when you think about the bigger scheme of things, Justin Bieber has been used and abused and gone through so much turmoil in this music industry that we probably don't even know. The darkest, sickest, saddest things have probably happened to him that we will never know about. Like, let alone like those clips that we've seen back then where he spent like 24 hours with Diddy or something like that. Why would anyone on earth give their rights over to Diddy and let their child be with Diddy for a day? I don't know what was going on in his mom's mind. That, you got to think about it, guys. That man has probably seen things and been touched allegedly in ways that we will never know, right? We literally saw him behind the scenes filming his Yummy music video, having an anxiety attack, a mental breakdown. So if this man wants to now find the Lord, Coachella, hallelujah. If he wants to now give his life over to God and just chill and get through his anxiety, but also still be able to do what he loves, and that's just the way that he feels comfortable doing it, I'm gonna give it to him, because he's given his entire childhood and young adulthood to this industry, like I said, in ways that we'll never fathom. So he's done the tours. There was literally a video of his like Never Say Never era where he had did like 86 shows as a minor and then got sick. That is crazy. So when you really think about all he has done, how hard he's worked, how much he's given, if he wants to just sit in the desert and just have a chill little performance or go to the Grammys and do a stripped down version of his song in his underwear and just keep it about the music, I'm gonna just let him do that. Because he's put in his time, he's put in his work, he's Justin motherfucking Bieber. So at this point, he doesn't need to do choreo. He doesn't need to do the whole nine. Would it have been nice? Yes. Should he have? Maybe. But if he doesn't want to, I'm going to just let him live, child. I'm going to just let him live. Because he's got his wife, he's got his son, and he's trying. When you battle demons like that, I'm just glad that he was even able to make it on the stage and do what he even did, child. Like, for real, it's that deep when it comes to Justin Bieber. And of course, you know, people were comparing it to like he gets to just sit around. Meanwhile, Sabrina Carpenter is literally putting on a whole Broadway production at her Coachella set. And I'm like, yes, at the end of the day, you know, there is some, you know, difference in men expectations versus women expectations in the music industry and entertainment. But like I said, at its core, when you strip it all down, I'm going to let the man live. I'm going to let him have it. He's been through enough. Meanwhile, Sabrina Carpenter is still trying to make a name for herself. So, of course, she's going to do the boom cack. Boom cack, the sound of my heart, the beat goes on and on and on. And like, yeah, and she ate that. She absolutely ate that at Coachella. So, loved his performance. Loved Sabrina Carpenter. Just incredible. And then seeing Billie Eilish be the one less lonely girl. Oh, my God. Because it's like, it's just, that's so real. Like the fact that Billie Eilish was literally had the Bieber fever and was truly a Justin Bieber fangirl like the rest of us is like so surreal. Like I know, like you could tell she was gagging. She was gagging being the one less lonely girl. So that was really sweet to see as well. So also, I want to talk about the Zara Larsson concert, the Midnight Sun tour. If you're watching on YouTube, I have on my merch. Okay, the fact that they even had a 3X at the merchandise stand is gaggy. Okay, that's on plus size inclusion. Okay, so shout out to Zara Larsson, because normally you go to these tours, they only go up to like a 1 or 2, and you're like, okay, so you're saying not everybody can wear your merch? So the fact that she had it, I'm like, okay, But yeah, the Midnight Sun tour was just absolutely incredible. And the fact that the tour is over now, the US leg is like so sad. Like, not only did I enjoy my stop in Michigan when she came, but I just had been enjoying all of the footage from all of the other stops as well. And just seeing everybody do like the Lush Life challenge and like seeing everybody, show up with their cute little outfits, for the theme. It was just so cute. Like, in general, the vibe of this tour was just absolutely incredible. And I am so proud of her and like this era and this, universe of Midnight Sun and this rebrand that she's created. So with the tour, like I said, went to the Michigan stop, and it was so cold that day, even though it was literally like, what, March, I think. So, the fact that people were out there in their little, flowers on their hair with heels on and little skirts, I'm like, ooh, I know y'all want to give the summer isn't over yet energy, but sister, it do not feel like summer out here. It was so freaking cold. I don't even know how to describe like how cold it was that day. Like, it was sickeningly cold. Okay. So I couldn't even serve the way I wanted to serve. I had my cute little shirt on with my little hibiscus flowers on and my cute little hibiscus earrings. And I had to like put a jacket on over it because I'm like, it's way too cold for me to stand out here with just this short sleeve shirt on. So kudos to the girls, because I saw one dude walking around. He didn't even have a shirt on. He just had, little bedazzled rhinestones on his body. And I'm like, you're going to die. You're going to die tonight. Hypothermia. Like, what? But it was really fun because I went with my sister. And when we first got to the venue, we saw that they had this like cute little store that I saw online where they sell like blind boxes and stuff. So I'm like, oh, we gotta go. So we parked, we went, and we got a blind boxes. I got a Smisky, gotta love my Smiskies. And I'm like, like, this day's off to a great start. And then we went back to the car. We sat in the car for quite a while because it was just way too cold for me to want to go stand in line. Like, huh? And then finally, once we get in line, we get in and we were able to get to our seats because all of the tour, as far as I saw, was general admission. But because my sister has like autism and like sensory issues, we get to sit in like the accessible seating area. So that was nice because, standing for hours at a concert is like so tired, especially now that I'm 30, feet beyond 10. You know what I mean? So that was like, thank goodness we had like seating in the accessible area and we were able to sit down. And she has like her, earplugs. So that way she doesn't like get sensory overwhelm. And we were like, okay, we're lit, right? So my sister was comfortable. I was comfortable. Everything was cool. Everybody in the, accessibility area, the ADA section was just, chill. And it was nice. And then that's when Amelia Moore came out for the opening act. And oh my God, guys, I already knew that Amelia Moore was like absolutely incredible. If you guys don't know, like her opening act for the US leg, she can sing the house down. Like, you think Zara can sing, but Amelia Moore can like also sing. Okay. I love that she's like a cute little alt girly, and like the way that she looks doesn't match the music that she makes. But I've already been a fan of Amelia Moore for a long time. I listened to her albums, her music, her singles. So I was excited to see both of them equally. Like, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with the boy next door. With the boy next door. Like, that is a bop. So the way that she was like singing the house down, those runs were like literally butter. Like, it was so incredible. Like, she absolutely killed it. And then after Amelia Moore went on, then I went to go to the bar. They didn't have no food. I hadn't ate all day, so I wanted real food, but they didn't have no hot dogs, like chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, nothing. They just had chips and like Famous Amos chocolate chip cookies and then the liquor. So I'm like, okay. So I ended up just getting a bag of chips. I got me a Shirley Temple. And then I'm like, while I'm, out here, let me go to the merch table. Went to the merch table. I'm like keying with the girls in line. I'm complimenting the girls. They're complimenting me. You know what I mean? Because when you're at a concert, instead of just standing around awkwardly, you may as well just chat with the people that are in line, because you already know that you have one thing in common with the person because they're here, right? Like, we all are here for Zara. That means you like Zara, so we can talk about how excited we are about the show. So that's definitely helped my social anxiety when I go to shows. It's like, just speak to the people around you, you know? Like, it won't hurt. And then after, we were keying in line, I ended up getting my shirt, and then I also got a keychain. I love my little keychain. I was already plotting on getting the keychain because one of the keychains says Puss Puss 97. Come on, you know it. Puss Puss 97 on the number plate. Puss Puss 97 on the number plate. I got a bad girl on my right. I got a bad girl sitting right next to me right here on the passenger side. They ride for me, I ride for them. Everywhere we go is a main event. So take a picture for the camera. Me and my girls are beautiful, fly, hot, and sexy. Like what? You know what I mean? It's all about Puss Puss 97 on the number plate. So the fact that I got my Puss Puss 97 keychain, living. Went back to my seat, concert starts. The show was absolutely incredible, and I love that she decided to perform every single song on the album and then sprinkled in a few like older songs. So of course all of the like Liddy songs were lit and the audience was like rocking with it, but then when it came to songs like The Ambition, I feel like the crowd was kind of like dull. And it's like, what? Make some noise, y'all. The Freak, like Where's the Sexy Red? Like, wake it up for The Ambition. Okay, that song, I feel like it's so slept on. And same thing with Saturn's Return. People weren't really lit for that song. We need to appreciate the sentimental songs on the album. I understand we all want to be beautiful, fly, hot, and sexy, giving Euro Summer, giving Midnight Sun. But The Ambition and Saturn's Return are also extremely underrated bops that I feel like people should have been way more lit for. So I was like, okay, disappointed in the crowd, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I need to do, in my section to turn up for my girl. So I just absolutely loved it. I just loved everything that she did with like the set, the way that she, went into like transitions into different songs, her cute little breakdown, dance moments. She had moments where she like showcased her dancers, and her dancers had like cute little like 1-2 like little numbers that they did. Like, it's just everything about the tour just had so much thought into it, and it was just incredible. Like, it was absolutely incredible. I would say, if you haven't seen the show, go see it, but the tour's over. And then of course, after the show, a lot of people were like trying to, stay and wait for her at the bus, and people were able to meet her, and I wanted to stay, but the way it was so cold, I felt like I would have exploded if I tried to stay out there. Like, because then by the time the show was over, it got even colder than what it was when we were waiting. And I'm like, you would think it can't get any colder, but it did. Like, it was sick. It was sick, sick, sick. So it's like, basically, moral of the story is, going forward, I'm going to need y'all to start appreciating all of the songs on the album, not just the singles, babes. Okay? Wake it up for The Ambition and Saturn's Return. And the fact that she's about to do a deluxe version of the album, I think by the day that I post this, it might be already out, but it's called Girls Trip, right? So basically, I remember months ago, she said she kind of wanted to pull a Charlie XCX moment where Charlie dropped Brat, right? But then she also dropped a new version of the album called Brat, and it's the same, but it's not, or something like that, which was basically the same version, the same album, but she remixed every song on it and then added a feature on it. So I think that's the same thing that Zara Larsson is going to do for Midnight Sun, but she's calling it Girls Trip. So it's going to be all the same songs, but just new versions of every song. So I cannot wait to hear that. Like, Zara, the woman that you are, like, being able to see what she does to remix every single song is so exciting. And then speaking of, different songs, she's also got a new song out right now with Tyla. I think it's called Did It Again, or She Did It Again, or something like that. She did it again, even when you look like again. Can you get me out of your head? Like, I know deep down you want me. I know you do. Deep down you want me. I know you do. Deep down you want me. I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. Put them in on his knee. Oops, did it again, like Britney. Right. Keep it in the dark. These secrets between you and I, you know I'm a star. Come on. Come on. Zara's verse on this song. I have chills right now thinking about it. I have chills. Let me look up the lyrics. Because it's like at this point, Zara Larsson is becoming the future queen. If you know you want a banger feature, you gotta just call up Zara Larsson at this point. Pay that ticket for that feature, whatever her fee is, have the label pay it. Because she gonna turn it up. Guaranteed. Stateside remix, don't worry about it. She did it again feature, don't worry about it. Signed, sealed, delivered. She's going to give you your money's worth on your feature. Like, what the heck? And then the music video with her serving like a bust down, wavy middle part. I think it was like middle part. Either way, bust down, wavy curl. Like winding the waist. Like, ugh. What can't she do? Like at this point, what was it? Zach Campbell called her Zarisha. And that's the new name. Like, girl, you're invited to the cookout. You're invited to the cookout. Zarisha Kitty? Cause what? Like, Zara, is there an African-American woman hiding in there? Let me know. Were you an African-American woman in your past life? Let me know. Oh, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. But like legit, her verse, put him in on his knees, not trying to tease. Oops, did it again like Britney. That's how it is. That's all I know. Not like anyone you met before me. Keep it in the dark. Keep secrets between you and I. You know I'm a star. Don't fly too close to me, you fall. And it's not safe. No, it's not safe. Baby, this is a dangerous game for you. But baby, this is all child's play to me. And I don't need you blaming me. Like, she did it again. Even when you feel like you can't get me out of your head. Right. Such a simple verse. But I'm telling you, it's like, I every time I listen to it, I have to rewind her part. Because it's my favorite part of the song. No shade, no tea to Tyla. Love you down, girl. As far as your music goes. But I can't, like she said, can't get me out of your head. I can't get the song out of my head. Another song I can't get out of my head is Coconut by Sailor. Close the door and open up to me. Oh no, won't you ever open up to me? Oh no. Hey baby, won't you open up? To bitch you open like a coconut. You've got a lonely soul, let me give you some warmth. Oh, I'm looking to fall in love, but you got what I'm asking for. Like, stop. Can't get enough of that song. And you know what? I tried to avoid liking Sailor for some reason. Because I'm just like so anti trying to like stan anybody new. And I'm like, nope, I don't stan. I'm not feeling her. But then she came out with Coconut and I'm like, oh, right. Right. So yeah, I don't know. Somehow, some way, I was not planning on singing. I'm over here singing, y'all. We're just dilly dallying. We're just in a silly, goofy mood today. Okay. But yeah. So that's about all I got today. Okay. We covered Coachella. We covered KATSEYE. Zara Larsson Midnight Sun Tour. Her song with Tyla. Megan Thee Stallion and Klay. May he rest in hell. Just kidding. Am I? No, I'm kidding. But yeah. So today's episode was fun. I had fun chatting and keying with y'all. I just appreciate you guys for just letting me be my silly, goofy self. You know what I mean? I don't mean any harm. We just be in a silly, goofy mood sometimes, guys. Like, can a black girl just be silly, goofy? Like, yes or no? What? But yeah, so like I said at the beginning of the episode, be sure to check out last week's episode with Ariana Davis, okay, from Stumble. And be sure to check out Stumble, okay? Watch the show on Peacock, and it's on NBC, because we need a season 2. And if we get a season 2, then hopefully she can, come back on the pod. So I'm going to need everybody to check the show out, so that way NBC can see that, okay, people are feeling Stumble, right? So please, please, please support me by checking out that episode and let me know in the comments what you think about it, so we can get that engagement up, right? And a matter of fact, on this episode too, let me know what you think about today's topics. Subscribe, like I said at the beginning as well, so we can get to that 1K. Okay. Turn the post notifications on. Rate that 5 stars and leave a review on Apple and Spotify. And follow me on my socials. Twitch.tv/gaming with Kristen. On Instagram, TikTok, at A Little Bit A Lot Podcast. I've also got my coloring account at Coloring with Kristen on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram as well. I'm literally like 40 something subscribers away from hitting 1K on my coloring YouTube channel as well. So if you care about, adult coloring and cozy, cute little artsy videos and blind box openings and stuff like that, subscribe to my coloring YouTube channel as well. I got a lot going on. Okay, guys. And that's on multi hobby girlies. Okay. Can God forbid a girl has multiple hobbies: gaming, coloring, podcasting, yapping. So if you want to support me on everything, and you want to find me anywhere ever, everything's going to be linked in the description. Okay. But with that, I'll see you guys next week. Love you down. I'll see ya. Bye.
Cause I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.